Welcome to the Missouri Woods and Water Podcast with your host, Nate, Micah,
I waved a little early, but
F. Andy.
I waved to YouTube a little early. Did you listen to last week?
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Every other week, it seems like right now you guys are on
Kind of
a tear where it's
because
you
we don't
one
want to
week,
see we don't want to see each other.
you 1 week, and then Andy,
We
then
don't
you.
we don't want to be in the same conversation.
And I'm just here in the middle, like egging both of you on.
Just feeding
You're
that
like,
fire.
come on, come on.
Just stroking it. Just stroking that fire. Watching it build. No, he's a piece of shit. He couldn't make it tonight. He had better things to do. So
Although I did hear what he is doing tonight, and that's pretty cool.
what was he doing? Jerking off homeless people or something? Something.
I'm about to stop this damn recording.
No, I'm kidding. No, he's taken some. He donated a night hunt. I don't remember what was it for.
It was if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. It was something for his church, but I could be wrong. And he donated
A hunt.
a thermal hunt.
Yeah, and so he's taken. I forget who won it, but he's taking some kids hunting pretty
Yeah.
much. So kudos to him. Hopefully they kill a lot of coyotes. But we're not talking about coyotes tonight. Tonight we have our buddy Paul Campbell. He's from the O2 podcast that's on the network, and also the he just said it.
Turkey and shit podcast.
I don't think that was it.
I'll tag it.
Yeah, can't remember the exact name, but he's got his own
Turkey season.
Yeah, turkey season podcast going on. So
Yeah.
we appreciate him coming on. Just talking some turkeys, man. Get into a little bit of everything about it. So no, we didn't really get into calling. We didn't get into calling too much. We're gonna leave that for our buddy Scott.
Oh God, yes.
When we ever get that going. But
Yeah.
thanks, Paul, for coming on. Let's talk about some sponsors.
Sponsors. One of the best turkey hunting sponsors out there, Alps Outdoors.
Absolutely, man.
They got all kinds of turkey gear.
Yeah, their best are money for turkey hunting. I mean, I am not, and we talk about it on the show, we're not turkey hunters, but if you get on their website and you check out, they have some of the top tier turkey vest out there and some other turkey hunting equipment. And you can save yourself 30% by using the code 2024 Woods Water.
Not 3%.
30. That's huge. Huge savings. So go support those guys. They support a lot of Missouri hunting and different types of, outdoor related stuff. So
AlpsOutdoors.com.
yes, sir. Onyx, you're going to be needing that while you're turkey hunting. We're like, oh, I heard one gobble over on this ridge. Get on your Onyx. You can figure out how far away
That fucker
is.
can stay over there.
Yeah. Be like, oh, that's the property line. We got to come back when it's dark. The neighbor can't see. That sort of stuff.
Don't do that.
I'm kidding.
I will say we don't really see him and talk to him much anymore, but our buddy down there at the Boo Hill Hunting Camp podcast has he's doing what do you call that shit? Reel series right now where it's called the 9 Acre Ranch, and he's like, yo, that purple paint, just keep going past that. Who's the guide? Go put that blind where I told you to. Don't worry about that purple paint. That's part of the 9 acres.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Anyways, use the code MWW20 for 20% off Onyx.
And they've got some new features coming out.
Yeah.
This spring, I guess you'd call it. You can use some features from home. You can look at coniferous versus deciduous tree layers, recent imagery, which is only available with an Elite. So you get on the website, use our code, save 20%, get the freaking Elite. And you can do recent imagery, which is basically going to say the imagery is updated every 2 weeks. So he showed us on our show with him where, you're thinking about going hunting somewhere and it's out of state. You can update that imagery because they might have clear cut the freaking thing 2 weeks before you showed up. And then you get out there and there's nothing there or whatnot. So that's a new feature. I just found out the 3D on your phone image, which I used that when we were hunting during that tournament where we didn't kill any dogs.
Right.
And that was a game changer because you can see elevations on there, but when you actually turn it 3D where you can almost see, and then you can also exaggerate that 3D, that really tells you like, all right, this is definitely higher than this one.
Right.
And then some you can use in the wood, the compass mode. which I've always used.
I like the
I'm
range.
assuming it's compass mode, which is the one that points you in the direction of travel where your phone's facing it.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
And then it'll tell you where north is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are just a few of those features. And then they have a kickback for turkey conservation bird hat for sale right now.
Nice.
Actually, I'm going to click this link. I want to see what it looks like. Nobody can see this, but it's cool. It's a mossy oak type of pattern. It's got a picture of turkey on it, man. It's $35. Every dollar of the proceeds from the bird hat will be matched by OnX Hunt and earmarked for turkey habitat improvement projects through Mossy Oak's Turkey Stamp Initiative. So
very cool.
Buy a hat, help turkeys out.
Heck yeah.
Thanks, OnX. You did the code and all that? Cool.
Yep.
All right. Huntworth Gear, use our code MWW15 for 15% off. Or you could not be an idiot and go to their sale right now, which is even more.
I think it's 20%
Yeah,
off.
I've actually been meaning to post it, but they're actually having a turkey flash sale, which will go through, I don't know. I bet it still be going on when we're out. But
Probably
anyway,
so.
It's 20% off turkey sale plus 30% off flash sale items. Use the promo code TRKYM, so Turkey M20 when you go there. And they also, they've already got the 20% off for the spring turkey sale. And then you use that, you could get some more flash sales. So
I would go with their in Missouri. I would go with their light season stuff, and I'd probably pick yourself up a vest along the way.
Mid-season vest.
Yes, mid-season vest, for them cool mornings. Once it warms up, take it off real quick. You're good to go.
Yeah. So don't give a shit about you using our code. Go buy their stuff and see how awesome it is.
Yeah.
Might tell them you heard about them from us. That'd be helpful for us. But all we want is to get you guys into Huntworth stuff because the stuff's badass. We use it. It's all we use. And it's legit. So we want to get you guys into it. And they do too. That's why they're having sales all the time. It's affordable, solid stuff. Zamberlan boots, while you're out chasing after stupid ass birds, you need good boots.
Yep. Sometimes you gotta put some miles on.
And ones that are, waterproof because it's usually dewy in the mornings.
Comfortable. Because you're going to be in them all day because, like we talk on the show, Missouri has opened it up to all day on private land.
And if you're like me, you ain't going to kill anything quick. So you're going to be doing it all day. So get on ZamberlanUSA.com and check out all the different options they got for boots. I personally like the Lynx. Micah personally likes the Baltoros with a B.
Yeah.
Andy, I think personally likes the Crestas. So just there between the three of us, we all have kind of different preferences.
Yep.
Although I almost got the Baltoros.
They're sweet, man.
But I'm just like, dude, I've got the Lynx. Technically got a pair of Crestas, and then I've got the Leopards that I haven't even used yet.
Right. So
why do I really need another pair of boots?
I get you, man.
So I didn't.
You can only have so many pair of boots.
Well, no, you can have a lot of boots.
Sure.
That's the issue. Yeah. You can keep going.
Weber Outfitters, Hawk Point, Missouri. Going there. A lot of new bows.
Hawks are bad for turkeys.
They are. Quit getting off on tangents. Go in there. Check out all the new bows that are coming out. Shoot them. Now's the time. If you're really going to if you plan on getting a new bow, obviously you want to get it as soon as possible so you can shoot it more. Now would probably be a really good time to get set up for one because you're not too many people are doing it.
Unless what are the slower times of the year for them? So
yeah. So go in there. They're going to spend some time with you to make sure you're set up in the right way.
And honestly, they have off-season hours right now. So give them a call and let them know you're coming in.
Right.
And you might even, I don't know that they would do this, but they probably would. You tell them Nate said, help us out, right? Let's say you have a few bows that you're thinking about shooting. Say, hey, I'm thinking about trying out the Elite Ember, the Elite Era, I meant, or the Ember, I guess, and the Bowtech, whatever. They might have them set up for you, ready to go when you get in there.
If you have a good idea of what your draw length is and all that, why not?
Yeah. So check them out, WeberOutfitters.com.
Camel Fire.
Camel.
Let's see what they got. They got camel on there right now. They got some turkey stuff, rangefinder, broadheads. They got a lot on there today. They got some tents, some hammocks.
I think I want to start going and like picking out my favorite item. We can do like a item highlight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while. But we didn't. Well, I got
Tripods.
turkey shit for sure. I'm telling you right now, it's the blowgun.
I
I want
want
the
one.
blowgun.
I want one
I
for
don't know what I'm gonna
sure.
do with it, but I want the blowgun.
It'd be sweet, man. Dude, if we could figure out a way to put a string on that and use that for bow fishing, how cool would that be?
I'd still miss.
You probably would. Should pretty bad. But it's a good time.
I
But
definitely.
yeah. Check out Camo Fire, get the app. A lot of good stuff on there all the time for sure. Uh Other company, Black Ovis, use the code MWW10, get yourself 10% off. They got everything you need. Online store. I was shopping. What was I want? I wanted something.
Recently,
It's been a week or two.
we share an account, right? Missouri Woods and Water, I'm pretty sure, has an account on Black Ovis.
Okay.
We need to go in there someday and just put like a wish list together, like put up the shit in our cart and then buy it so that we not all buy it individually.
Well,
You
that's a
know what
good
I'm
idea.
saying?
Oh yeah. There's shorts. I want to get some more shorts. They have the best shorts I've ever had.
Mike is nuts hanging out of his shorts.
They're not
I
that
don't know that I've ever tried their shorts.
Their shorts are awesome, man. Get yourself a pair. They're pretty sweet. So, and you can save yourself 10% if you use the word code MWW10.
Good
Just
idea.
so you know.
I will do that.
Real cameras by Tacticam. I got all mine picked up. Nate's got the same. I think Andy said he still has a few out.
Oh, I can guarantee you he does.
Yeah, because he's a procrastinator and a piece of shit.
You didn't have to do the second part. Could have just said procrastinator.
Yeah. But yeah, I think well, he's talking about last episode. That's why. But I'm sure, he's
Oh, you mean that episode he was here, not you?
yeah, yeah, that one.
Gotcha.
You know. Anyways,
Awkward.
I was a huge fan of my reveals all season long.
100%,
I was
yeah,
happy with them. I
100%.
like them.
It was easy to cancel my plan when I went and picked all my shit up. It
Yep.
was easy to cancel it.
I'm sure it's gonna be just as easy to send back out
Yeah.
whenever we put him back out here in a few months. So
And I'm not gonna make him go last because it seems like he's always last. Because he's at the bottom of the page there. But Habitat Works, man. Dustin was just on our show was that last week?
yep.
I've had a lot going on, so I can't remember. Habitat Works, Dustin Williams, absolute genius. Mention us when you call him at 816-752-7390 and get 15% off any one of his services, which right now is a lot of fire, TSI, mulching, mapping and planning. To me is maybe one of his biggest hidden gems.
I would think if it was me, that would be the first thing
I would do.
I would talk to him about. Be like, hey, I want you to just come walk my farm, or however he does it,
Map and plan,
and be like, give me a map and a plan.
Save 15% right there.
Yeah, but that'll be huge, and that, if anything, that at least gives you a starting point of what, if you want to do it yourself or have him come out and do it. It gives you a plan.
And here's the nice part is, Dustin's up in St. Joe area, and he does have a radius he works. I mean, call him and talk to him about where you're at. But the mapping and planning can be done. He can map your
I mean, how many times have we
your property from
Yeah.
Google Earth and Onyx,
Yeah.
have a meeting with you virtually, and then you can get the work done if you're down in Southeast Missouri or wherever the hell you are, and he can't get to you. He can still give you his expertise. He's done that for all of us just on Onyx.
Yep. We'll send him the pin. He'll be
Yep.
like, I'd put a stand here, here, and here. And this is, corridors or whatever.
Yep.
Go over that with him. Athlon Optics, ridiculously good optics, ridiculously good price. I potentially might be taking my thermal out tonight. Nathan does not want to go hunting tonight because he's had a long week.
That's yeah. It is a hard no tonight. I've been gone all week, so I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, man.
Just want to go to sleep.
I get it.
I get it.
But
I get it too, 100%. But yeah, Athlon Optics, man, use their stuff. If I was going tonight, I would definitely have it on there.
Yep.
But I'm not, and I think that's all of our sponsors for tonight. So that's good. I appreciate you being here, sir. Talking those gobblers.
Somebody's got to, because we know Andy didn't show up.
I just can't wait until next week. At this point, I'm actually looking forward to the shows.
Like I might just take next week off just because.
Just to keep the tradition
keep it going, the shit talking to continue.
I appreciate you guys entertaining me, if nothing else.
There we go. All right, let's get into the show with Paul Campbell.
This is the Missouri Woods and Water podcast. All right. With us tonight, we got the guy, the man, the myth, the legend.
We can call him.
It's like he's like one of our two turkey go-tos.
I think he's like literally the only other person we've talked to about turkeys.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like when we talk about turkeys, it's either Scott Wilper.
I say, who's your other go-to?
Scott Wilper.
You'd love to talk to Scott.
Yeah, I need to get these two together. And then actually we'll talk about, we might leave it, but you and Scott Wilper, we've got Paul Campbell right now with the O2 podcast and host of How to Hunt Turkey?
So the How to Hunt Turkeys, I did that last year. That show's still up, still running. It is the Turkey Season podcast is the one that I'm doing now. I also dabble in the NWTF's Turkey Call All Access. So I do a couple of them. So
yeah. So we made a joke
place, man.
Just before we started recording, you were holding your striker. And we said, look, Paul's got a hard on for turkeys.
It's right here. Purple headed striker.
Red Rocket.
The wheels are off, boys.
It took a minute 23.
I was just saying, that was a record. I don't know what then. There you go. Minute 23. Yes. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. It's good to see you guys. Good to be on the show again.
No problem.
Been a little bit since we've talked for a while.
You got me?
This is your. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, this goddamn internet. Sorry, you have to beat that out. Yeah, I'm in a bomb shelter.
No, we won't.
It is a. See that I'm in my basement. It's like a bomb shelter. I got my kids upstairs playing on their Nintendo Switch. I got my wife streaming some shit on Netflix. Probably like bandwidth is low in the Campbell household. So slow down.
The reason Mike is here is because he doesn't have internet fast enough to do this virtually. So we 100% understand.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it, dude.
Good deal. You asked me a question.
This is no, I was getting ready to say this is your
area of expertise.
This is your time to shine. This is Paul. It's March 15th. No one gives a shit about anything right now. Well, at least we don't. But coyotes. But this is Paul's Super Bowl. What would you call this? Super Bowl Eve? Where are you at right now?
Oh man. So so first off, March 15th is the opener for Mississippi turkey hunting. So Mississippi's I feel like it's the epicenter of turkey hunting. Just, Southeast, you got Mossy Oak there. You got a bunch of good people, turkey hunters there. So they're kicking off today. So Florida kicked off March 2nd, South Florida. The north zone of Florida kicks off tomorrow, Saturday, March 16th. So where am I at? I am physically pained with jealousy. That's where I'm at. I'm pained with jealousy that I'm not turkey hunting and that my first turkey hunt is April 12th in the state of Texas. So I got to wait until April 12th. That's where I'm at, man. But this is it, man.
Yeah, you still got
my time of year.
You still got. You still got a little while.
I do, man. I'm bird dogging a trip down to Alabama, or if I can get on some private land in Mississippi the last week of March, I'll do that. But the first trip that I have a tag in my pocket, so to speak, is Texas. So yeah, I still got a minute. But last year I started turkey hunting. Wow.
Did you?
Yeah, you did quite a bit of traveling last year.
I did, man. I hunted.
So it's kind of like October 15th for you right now. October 15th for us deer hunters. It's kind of like about that time for you. Right before the rut.
Yeah.
You're starting to get amped up.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like that first morning you walk outside on October 15th and it's 28 degrees and there's just that little cool breeze and you're like, it's here. Yeah, it's coming, but then it's going to be 75. like that day. But you can feel it. Like it's like teasing you. It's just the tip, right? It's just the tip of the rut. That's that's what's going on right now. So
I was
I'm gonna
about to
see
say
how
you
many of
can
those I
literally
can.
start smelling this doughs and estrus.
That's right. Yeah.
It's weird. As a human being, I put my nose to the sky, and
It's happening.
Yeah.
it's happening. The
You
pheromones.
just
I can.
you just start pawing in the dirt. Like you don't even know why.
Your wife walks outside. Why are you pissing in a?
Why are
It's
you
the,
scraping the
I
ground
don't
right
know
now?
why are you questioning me? That's the real problem here.
Why's the deposit tracker in? Why are boobs good? It just is.
Right? It just is.
Uh,
Is that a Joe Dirt reference?
yeah, yeah.
So we've
Yeah.
had two penis references and a Joe Dirt comment. Like that's dude, this is good. We're this is going to be a good show. I'm
Yeah,
proud of
we,
us
we know
already.
we know how to take we know how to take shows right off course. We have no problem with
As
that.
soon as possible,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, man. Good.
This might be a record for how quickly we got off course. It took a minute 23 today, but
Yeah.
hey, we are here to talk about turkeys.
Yeah.
Before it's been about a year since you've been on. Before you're our yearly booty call, right? We can count on Paul about this time of year. Before we do get into it, though, talk to
Yeah.
everybody about kind of your background and what you do for a living, and why turkeys are so important to you.
Yeah. So I started I'll give you kind of what's the saying, the 60,000 foot view of just how I got into turkey hunting. So I started turkey hunting in 2008 was my first year. Didn't grow up in a hunting family. My grandpa and uncles and all that, they hunted. My dad didn't hunt. So, I didn't grow up hunting. Um, my dad died at the age of 54. I was 25. And so at the time, like the economy was just terrible, man. If you guys remember like 2006, 7, 8, 9, like it was just a mess. I worked in the golf course industry at the time, so I was in and out of jobs just because they were laying everything off, everybody off.
Right.
And so I was at just like just a really low point, just in my life, man. Dealing with the early death, unexpected death of my father, and just dealing with that, the economy, and just trying to be a man, right? Raise, have a family, and do the things that life requires of you. And it was just tough, man. And I had a friend I've known him for years. He asked me, he said, "Hey, do you want to go bass fishing?" So I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I had fished as a kid, so it had been years since I'd fished. So we go fishing, and I catch like a 4 pound bass, and it was like, like proverbially, like I was hooked on it, right? Like I had a blast, man. I loved it. And so he was like, "Man, if you like that, you should try turkey hunting." And I'm like, "The hell's a turkey? No idea what a turkey is.
You
Didn't
mean
didn't
that
even
thing
know
we eat
like
during Thanksgiving?
yeah, like I didn't know that was a thing, that like people that there were like a wild version of that, and people hunted it, right? So I borrowed some camo, borrowed a shotgun, about the cheapest turkey call that I could get my hands on, and I went out, man. It took me 3 days before I heard my first turkey gobble that first year, but man, something just in me just clicked, and I wanted to see one of those turkeys. I wanted to shoot it. I wanted to put my hands on it. It took me 3 years before I actually killed a turkey. But at the time, turkey hunting gave me purpose in my life. It gave me an outlet.
Right.
It gave me, and looking back, 20 years now, well, it's like 15, 18, whatever it is at this point, I've got a wife, I've got three beautiful children. We got a job that I love, so turkey hunting has kind of like taken a step back and like the priority role of my life. But at the time, like it's what saved me, man. And honestly, and pulled me out of a hole that I don't know if I ever would have climbed out of without it. So I'm very, very grateful to be a turkey hunter. I'm very, thankful for the other turkey hunters, and the community and the culture that surrounds that. It's a very important part of my life. I'm very grateful and fortunate to work full time for the National Wild Turkey Federation. So I get to talk about wild turkeys 365 days a year. Christmas morning, man, I go to the corner of my house, and I send a bunch of text messages to the people that I work with and that I work for. The members and volunteers of that organization, just thanking them for all they do for the wild turkey and turkey hunters. So, yeah, man, it surrounds my life every minute of the day. So there you go.
So how was the NWTF thing? convention.
The sports show and convention, it was unbelievable, man. We had 72,243 people walk through the gates to attend that sports show. It's, the largest attendance that we've had. That's, I guess, kind of a microcosm about, the popularity of turkey hunting. More and more people are doing it, which is interesting and neat. The convention was great. The members and the volunteers of that organization are just second to none. And it's very unique. You look at all of the other, like, I don't know, like when you talk about like just impact and people and community. I mean, and I'm obviously like biased, man. I wear turkey colored glasses. I'll admit that. But when I look objectively at like, deer hunting or quail hunting, pheasants, elk, duck, I mean, it's not as close knit and it's not as celebrated, I think, as turkey hunting. And I'm like, I could probably be proven wrong. I'm sure someone listening to this like, wow, bullshit, that's my perspective. So that's the camp that I fall in. So convention was great, man. Sports show was great. Yeah, the attendance was unbelievable. So tons of people.
Yeah, our buddy Scott Wilper, who you need to meet sometime. He went down to the owl hooting contest again and competed. I think I don't remember how many years he's competed, but he finished. Was his best finish of all time.
Wow,
we'll talk to him more about it when he's on our show, but he made top 10 this year.
Okay.
Which was pretty awesome. And there was actually, I can't remember what he said, but there was like 2 points separating 10th and 4th.
Wow. Okay.
So, and the guy that got second after he went, I guess, told Scott, "You killed that."
Yeah. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're in it." And so whatever happened.
And what did he say? They throw out the top and the bottom score. And I'm going to be getting things wrong, but he got like a 47, 47, 46, 46, 45, 43, 43 or something like that.
No, just one of them.
No, because that one would have been thrown out. So one of them screwed him. And it was just one that ended up keeping him. And he's like, how almost everybody had me at a 47 except for, this one guy or girl. And he's like, if I would have just gotten a 45 on that instead of a 43, I would have been in 4th or whatever.
That's cool, man.
That's how close it was.
Dude, I love the calling competition. The gobbling competition is awesome. The owl hooting competition is cool. The turkey calling is neat, but and like, I'm sure, there are competition callers out there like, whoa, sacrilegious. Like I watched like 2 or 3 guys run through and I'm like, I've seen enough. Like, you guys are amazing. It's a ton of fun. The team, they have a team competition where it's 2 guys calling, and dude, that's the coolest one, man. It's really neat. But the goblin one and the owl hooting one, I think, are like honest. That's pretty good. You practice that.
I just want to see like on that group deal. I just want to see one of those guys be a fly on the wall, try to tell his wife, "No, babe, I got to go practice with Joe tonight to call turkeys."
Dude, there's Matt Van Cise, who has won, I think he's won like 14 or 15 Grand Nationals, something like that. The guy's an unbelievable call maker and call competitor. The legend is that he sleeps with audio tracks of wild turkey noises. I believe it.
It's kind of like that white noise that people play. You just got there in the background.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep, absolutely, man.
Everybody's got their vice, right?
Absolutely.
But so I mean, we talked to him a little bit about that, and I think he's up in Iowa last weekend. I haven't talked to him about how it went, but it's amazing I mean, every sound from, owl hooting to turkey gobbling to all of it. I mean, he makes calls, so he obviously knows what he's doing, but he can do all that shit with his mouth.
Yeah,
just with nothing. I mean,
what that mouth do?
Steer it back on track, Nate. Get it back on track. It's just amazing, what guys like him can do. I mean, it's no different than elk and the elk calling competitions and all those things. But made me wonder how NWTF went. We honestly, we went to ATA this last year, and we're looking at next year for the three of us. We pretty much only have one show in us, for the most part, and we're wondering what that could be next year, and we've got some ideas. SHOT Show might be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, because us, we're not huge into turkey hunting. I mean, Andy's really the only one that kind of goes out turkey hunting, and he's not that serious about it. But so we were kind of leaning towards like the SHOT Show sort of thing.
NWTF is kind of the other one because it's in Nashville.
Oh yeah, it'd be close.
It's huge.
It'd be easier for me schedule wise, and I mean, I like turkeys. It doesn't tickle my pickle like it does a lot of people.
Yeah. The sports show.
Why you keep making it
all night? We're gonna do it all night. Don't stop. So the sports show, it really does have a lot for everyone. So it's more than just like turkeys. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of turkey stuff there, but there's a lot for the duck hunter. There's a lot for the predator hunter, for the coyote hunter, for the deer hunter. I mean, every major, tree saddle and tree stand companies there. It really is an all-encompassing show. I mean, you've got safari companies there, big game outfitters. I mean, it's one of the better shows for like the big game outfitters and the safari companies, even more so than like Dallas Safari Club and some of those big ones. When you talk to them, like they love it because turkey hunters come there, man. They're in a good mood and they want to spend some money. So it's cool.
Yeah, that's what we've heard.
It's a cool show.
It's not just turkey stuff. We've heard it's kind of all of them. So, and Nashville. I mean, that's kind of the draw to SHOT Show, the draw to NWTF. The Western Hunting Expo is in Reno, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
I could be wrong about that. Or Salt Lake City. It's in Utah. What are you looking at me weird for?
I thought it was in Vegas.
No, SHOT Show's in Vegas. Okay. The Western Hunting Expo is in Salt Lake.
The expo's, I'm pretty sure it's in Salt Lake City. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But that's the draw of those three different shows. For us we've been to ATA 2 times now. We've only got one, trip in us a year. That's the draw to those different ones. It's a cool location. Nashville's an awesome place.
Yeah.
You can go to the show, take your wives with you, go out, listen to some country music or whatever afterwards. Vegas, you can go lose your ass after you're done, at SHOT Show. So there's, different things you could do.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, it's a blast, man.
Well, I'm glad it was good.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm curious, I guess we could talk about hunting, but one thing I did want to ask you tonight was, the last few years, at least here in Missouri, we've been hearing about the decline in the turkey population. Numbers are down. People aren't seeing them. The hatches are decreasing. I will say this, the one farm that I hunt that has ever had turkeys on it has had more turkeys on it the last 2 years than it. I'm not saying it's much, but at the very beginning of turkey season, you can, mostly youth season actually, you can get on them when they're in that winter flock period. Seems like you can potentially hunt them. This is the only 2 years that it's really ever even been a possibility at this farm since I've been hunting it. The other ones, I've never even seen a turkey on them.
Right.
But what are you hearing, especially working for NWTF? What are some of the newest things this last 12 months since we've last talked that, has kind of been the talk about, the population or the decline? Is it a myth? What are some things you've been seeing?
That's a good question. So I want to preface what I say with the statement, I am not a biologist. My role with NWTF is in fundraising and in development. I work hand in hand with our conservation staff to help fund conservation programs. I work with multiple state agencies on different projects and initiatives. I've been on wild turkey research, trapping projects, helping out, but I am not a biologist. And so everything I say is
Holiday Inn Express.
But I did stay in a Holiday. I like Hampton Inn. That's my thing. But
well, then you can't fucking talk about it.
There we go. And the show's over. Paul, thanks for coming. Enjoy your Friday. But so in all seriousness, it's definitely not a myth. There has been a precipitous decline of wild turkeys across the country. It really like the epicenter of it started in the southeast and it kind of spiraled out. So Missouri has been hit by it. Ohio, we're dealing with it, Indiana, New York, Pennsylvania, up into some of the New England areas. Uh, so it's definitely not a myth. So if you talk to the biologists like Brett Collier, Mike Chamberlain, Mark Hatfield, Marcus Lashley, all of these like the thought leaders and the really smart people within the turkey hunting, turkey research and science community, um, they'll tell you there's no silver gun, or there's no smoking bullet, right? Or whatever it was, silver bullet, smoking gun. You know what the hell I'm trying to say.
I
It's
have
not
no
just
clue.
one thing. It's not
Sure.
just one thing.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not just one
Right.
thing. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts, right? So the one thing that like is universal in the terms
It's
that
like
like
syphilis. No? Okay.
I'm not even going to acknowledge it. I'm going to keep moving. So the one thing that's like
Please do.
universal in that everyone agrees on, right, is that a cold, wet spring kills turkey poults quicker than any critter or disease out there, right? So turkeys, when they're young, first 2 weeks they can't of their life, they can't regulate their body temperature. So if you get those cold, wet spring, late springs, I'm sure you guys get them in Missouri. We'll get them. Freaking,
Oh
we've
yeah.
had frost on Memorial Day in Ohio. Um,
Yep.
and so yeah, if you get those cold, wet Junes and Mays, like the turkeys they'll have a hard time. The poults will. Mike Chamberlain talks a lot about like habitat degradation, and so habitat that has changed. So a lot of turkey hunters, a lot of land managers, a lot of agency personnel, they're remembering the days post restoration, post wild turkey restoration. When we had this huge population boom, right? So mid 90s to like early 2000s, where there were, a lot of scientists are saying there were too many turkeys on the landscape, that our ecosystems couldn't necessarily support that many. And so, when as humans, like if we manipulate the environment, but then don't do the things that we need to do, over the decades as land managers and the state agencies, then those habitats, they change and they degrade, and things um, might not be as good for a wild turkey in 2024 as they were in 1994, right?
Yeah.
So habitat loss, and you know uh, things just get crazy. I mean, you've all seen it, man. Turkeys are like they're kind of particular in the habit, like just like everything else. Like there's a certain home that they like to live in. So if you go through an area that you can't walk through, like those pastures, that are kind of overgrown. And I had someone tell me they're like lay on the ground in the second week of June and look from the ground with your head on the ground. That's what a poult is trying to get through. And so if you can't see through it, a turkey can't get through it. And so,
Yeah.
and turkeys when they're little, they're bug eaters, man. That's their number one source of food, source of protein is a bug. And so if we've lost, if their ability to eat a meal close to the nest is impacted because of habitat degradation, then that's an issue. Chamberlain, I did a podcast with Mike Chamberlain, Brett Collier down in Georgia a couple weeks ago, and they did a study. They said that if a poult has to leave the nest, the initial nest site within the first like 2 to 4 weeks, if they go more than 800 yards from the initial nest site, it's a 100% mortality. 800 yards. Think about that. Did you have a wild
No.
turkey, like an adult hen, will walk miles a day? But if that poult has to leave to look for food or security or cover or good brooding area,
Right.
more than 800 yards, 100% mortality. That's a staggering number when you think of it from like a habitat and management perspective. So there's a million things, man, that are coming after wild turkey. Coons are a huge issue. Bobcats,
Yeah.
coyotes, like, hey,
We
dude,
see
it's
those
it's
things,
it's
man. It's
it's a
just,
turkey. Yeah, it's a meal.
yeah. Now, I will say this. I will say this. I'm starting to see, and this might, it might affect the population here in the next few years. Um, like part of the reason the habitat has gotten worse for a turkey is because we've become more efficient at farming.
Sure.
So you now can farm right up to the edge of timber. And
Yeah.
so there's not that buffer strip in between, crops and timber,
Yeah,
which is prime turkey habitat.
it is for sure. Yeah,
Well,
that brood habitat.
now there's programs out there that are starting to pay farmers
to keep that,
to do that. And Andy just applied for it at his new farm. He applied to be in that program where there's going to be I guess it's called a buffer strip or whatever. I don't know what it's actually called, but he's like, listen, I don't that 20 feet doesn't make me anything anyways. And so
that's the worst part of the crops.
It's the worst part of the crops. I can potentially help habitat. I'm not going to lose much, and I can make some of that money back by this program, paying me to have it. I'm sure it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, but you have, a farm that, let's say, is 200 acres, however big Andy's is or whoever else that does that. And then a farm a quarter mile down the road does that also. And then a farm, so then let's say there's 10 farms in a county that apply for a program like that one and do it. Well, you just potentially had 10 different, if only 10 different hens have poults, whatever the fuck they're called, on
Poults,
those 10 farms. That's 100 turkeys that, if 10 of them live from each hatch, there's 100 new turkeys this year that, are moving forward to next year. And then, so I think that hopefully will have, an impact on, the turkey population moving forward in those areas where farming is bigger than areas where it's not as much. But where we are, it's nothing but farm ground up here for the most part.
The role of private landowners in the world of like wildlife habitat management is tremendous, and it's understated. So like in Ohio, the state of Ohio the public owns less than 5% of our land mass is public land. So as an agency, when they talk about people, as a state agency, you are the standard bearer of whatever wildlife you're managing, right? So if there's an issue with the deer herd, the pheasant, quail, turkeys, whatever it is, the state, doesn't matter what state it is, they have a giant target on their back. And so when you think about it, when they're like, well, we can only manage 5% of the land, the 95%, take out the cities, right? So 80% of the land and like in my state is privately owned. And so the role of like private landowners is understated. It's tremendous. Those are the people, the landowners in this country are the ones that can change wildlife habitat and conservation quicker than any state agency. And there are a ton of programs out there to help. Like you talked about Andy applying for that program. There's a ton of programs out there through the NRCS, through various state and government organizations, and I know for a fact like NWTF, Delta Waterfowl, DU, National Deer Association, like we have people on staff that will help private landowners navigate, because it's kind of a complex network, right? We'll help them set up management plans. We'll help them, get in contact and apply for the funding to help implement those management practices on their farm or piece of property, whatever it is. But it takes a village to destroy something like that. It takes a village to fix it. I mean, quite honestly. So, it's a very unique position for landowners to be in. So,
and there's a lot of landowners out there. Andy is not one of them. Andy's one that understands, because, Andy's not the biggest turkey hunter. He is, out of the three of us, probably the biggest turkey hunter. But he understands that what's good for a turkey is good for a deer. It's good for, a coyote, unfortunately. It's good for all wildlife, honestly. So you might not, like me, I would go turkey hunting, but in general, I could kind of give a shit about turkey hunting, right? Mm-hmm. I enjoy other things more.
Sure.
Okay, let's just say that. But in general, I want to see turkeys thriving where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because that's good for everything. It's not because the turkey is like this beacon of, sustainability in a farm, but it kind of is. I mean, because if you think about some of the best wildlife habitat that you are, hunting in North America, man, there's always turkeys, and the worst stuff doesn't have them. It's just, it almost seems like they go hand in hand. So kind of it's a nice barometer for how good you got it there.
Yeah. So that's called a keystone species is what that's called. So it's like the work that's done on the back of the wild.
Did.
Okay. So the work that's
I just
done on
wanted
the
to see if
back of
you
the
know,
wild turkey is tremendous. I do know. It's what I do, man. And
Yeah.
I just stole it from someone, my old boss used to talk about that all the time as a biologist, and talk about like, all of the impact, the positive impact on wildlife that's done on behalf of the wild turkey. And it's not just the wild turkey, right? And so I was at an event here for the state Department of Natural Resources, or Department of Wildlife rather, and they had different partners, agency partners from all different sectors, right? And so we had like little group sessions just to get to know the other people. And I was the only person there representing like the wild turkey. And I was one of the guys that I was with. He was a researcher, his PhD, and he was a herpetologist. You know what that is? I learned this with him. Do you know what a herpetologist is?
No.
Oh, hold on. Let me answer.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Herpetologist. I'm gonna
herpetologist.
go with reptiles.
Yes, nailed it. Yeah, reptiles.
I am a freaking genius. I
Crap.
Yeah,
mean,
get them.
I knew who Keith Stone was. I knew who Keith Stone was, and oh wait, he said Keystone. That was a bad joke.
That was a really
Anybody
bad
not
joke.
remember the Keystone commercials?
No,
Keith
is
Stone?
this a Keystone
No.
Light?
Yeah, Keystone Light commercials.
Keith Stone.
The dude was
I
like
don't.
Keith Stone.
Dude, I had a friend in college that swore that Keystone Light was cans of Coors Light that didn't make like quality control. And he's like, if you look at every Keystone Light can, it's got a dent on it. And I was like, no, it doesn't. It does. They absolutely. I mean, yeah, back in 2004, they did. And so we would just go like, oh my god, like we'd go into the store and be like, look at this, it's got a dent on it. It's Coors Light. They just print over Keystone Light. That
Aren't
was
they
that was
both owned
his.
by the same people?
Probably a little bit.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I guess, man. Hell, I don't know, but um,
Who
yeah.
knows?
So the
It's a good
herpetologist,
theory.
reptiles. He
Circle
he
back
had
around.
this.
Yep.
He was just like, man, like his thing was like the hellbender lizard, which is like, or salamander or some shit like that. I don't know. They're crazy looking, man. If you ever want, like, Google it. It's like nightmare fuel. They're native to here in Ohio, the hellbenders. But he's like, it pisses me off that the work that's done on behalf of birds. And he's like songbirds and crows and hawks, and he's got a point. Like there's all of these huge like conservation models and programs and initiatives, ducks, waterfowl, right? That they're because of winged critters, whether it be a turkey or a freaking songbird. It's just funny, man. It's funny how conservation works, but all of those other four-legged critters that you guys love so much and that I love, yeah, they benefit from it as well. So it's just, yeah. There we go. That's all I got.
Yeah. Well,
I want to get your opinion on something. So Missouri, now that we've talked about the numbers have, decreased or, kind of a trend, Missouri recently opened up to where you can hunt on private land all day. So in the past, what
you
was
could
it?
only hunt till 1 o'clock.
Till 1 o'clock. But now if you have private land access, you can hunt all day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that that's going to affect numbers to any significant amount?
I'll tell you what I think before he answers.
Yeah, go. I want
My
to hear what
answer
you have to
is
say.
I don't think it will have a significant impact on population.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Just
I mean,
because if you remember, the lady from MDC said hunting has a very small percentage population on or effect on the population overall. And so I don't know that would have the let's say you kill another 10,000 birds. Well, in a entire population, it's, numbers wise, I can't remember exactly what she said, so don't quote me. It doesn't have a big enough effect to injure the population bad enough. So my answer is I don't think it would have a effect, but see what Paul thinks.
I would, so I would definitely default to like the information and the research that the agency personnel have done. Like they know the state, they know the resource. I know like in Ohio, our entire spring harvest is, they want it less than 10% of the total estimated population. And that's where we're at. Like we've never been over that 10%. So, um, yeah, man, I listen, dude, if you, and I don't want to take this. I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way. Dude, the deer hunters, you guys get in there early and you're tired by 9 o'clock, right? You're like,
Mhm.
fuck these turkeys, I'm going home. And I'll be honest with you, dude. Hunting the afternoon is like one of my favorite times to hunt. And I probably shouldn't say that because I don't want you guys like out there, ruining those afternoon hunts. But man, it is a good time to hunt. Um, I would, man, I really like, and this is just an idiot's perspective. I don't see how it would increase the population. The bag limits are still the bag limits, right? Like you're not going to go out.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
You're only going to have so many turkey hunters. You're not going to, I would be shocked if you had more people hunting because they can hunt private property in the afternoon. Like that would just, that, like, it would be, it's a stretch. I mean, but I mean, who knows, right? I mean,
I mean, it might.
maybe.
I mean, like it could be like a guy like me. Hey, I can't go hunting this morning, but I could go this afternoon. So then I end up going hunting. So that's a single hunt that does happen that wouldn't have happened before,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? And that could kill a bird. But I was only killing one turkey no matter what.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I was only going to kill the one. A guy like
Yeah.
me, I'm not trying to kill. If one of my sons goes with me this year for whatever reason and kills a turkey, I don't give a
Done.
I don't care to
Yeah.
kill one.
Right.
I want them to
But
be successful.
I
So
mean,
no more turkeys are going to die from the Thomas household than would have before. The
Yeah.
only thing it's doing is it's giving us more opportunities to go out there,
Yeah.
which I guess
think
could kill a turkey that
the
wouldn't.
more opportunities that are out there, the more turkeys that are going to die, though.
Sure.
I'm just playing devil's advocate because, like, like I said, I don't, turkey hunting is not my thing.
Mhm.
But if the conservation and whoever, and they might not be talking about it anymore, if the numbers are hurting, why would you open it up a different avenue to the to be able to kill more turkeys throughout the season?
Yeah. So
Like
I think that I think that
you're giving people more of an opportunity, which that's great.
Yeah.
If we have turkeys and the population ain't hurting, sure, have at it.
Yeah.
But why? So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't. I disagree with it just on the fact that I've always heard the last few years our numbers are down. I'm like, well, why
Yeah.
don't you? Because we can get two turkeys, I believe, and I could be way wrong on this.
Yeah.
You can get two turkeys, and I think they changed this too. You used to be able to get two turkeys during bow season. You get two turkeys during the spring, two turkeys during the fall. I think I could be way off.
And that's the one I would have more of an issue with. I'm not so upset about them. I'm happy that they changed it to where you can hunt them all day. But if they were going to do anything, I would have gotten rid of turkey or fall turkey and just said, listen, if we're trying to help the population, get rid of the fall season. Stop giving people free turkey tags with deer tags.
I'm pretty sure they changed that. So this year, I think you have to pay separate for your turkey tags if you want them.
Which is cool.
Sure.
But if, whatever. I mean, I still don't think any of them have a big enough effect on the population percentage wise to overall affect it. At least that's what I remember hearing.
Sure.
When we had
my right. I have
conservation.
no idea. Like I said, I don't know what our numbers are. I mean, I know our harvest numbers went down last year, if I remember right. I think we
Yeah,
had like
your
30
total
something thousand.
harvest in 2023 was statewide for spring. Oh, this is fall. Hold on. Trying to find navigate your website.
I could tell Paul was working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean-
Though, let's just say you have a flock of statewide. I don't even know, but well, Paul, he's looking up numbers right now. I guess let's say
Yeah.
your entire population is estimated to be 300,000, whatever, and you kill 30,000 of those birds during the season.
10%.
That's only 10% of the population.
Mm-hmm. But
So
now opening that up, you might get another 10%.
I doubt it.
Maybe. You don't know. I mean, I don't know either. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
And if we do, then they'll probably do something about it. Because if we kill 25% of the population,
well, that's one thing that nothing moves fast in that department.
Well, that's true.
So hopefully,
All right,
you
so
don't
here,
get to the point where there's no return.
So 2015, you had 43,991 turkeys killed statewide in Missouri. So let's look at 2023. I'm interested. You get me
So that
curious.
was 2017. So that was
20, no,
7 years
20
ago.
It was 2015. Excuse me, 2015.
2015. So 9 years ago.
2015. Yeah. I just gotta work back here. The one, like, while I'm doing this, no one wants dead air. The one thing that, like, I find, I guess, refreshing is that, like, Mikey, you asked that question, like, people were concerned, people want answers. They want, wise use of the resource, going forward. And I understand, like, uh understand the questioning, right? I understand the reasoning. I think that, like, the hunting, because, like, in Ohio, I mean, dude, we can only hunt until noon the first 7 days of the season. And then after that, it's half hour before sunrise to, I think, either sundown or half hour after sunset. I'm not sure which one it is. Um, dude, your state is like,
I've never understand why that was a thing.
What?
Why could you not hunt them in the afternoon originally?
I think it was so that they could do their business.
So they could
Like
roost
that,
and-
they had, well, not roost, but they had their time to breed and, do what turkeys do.
yeah,
I thought that was
yeah.
the
Give
reasoning.
him, give him a little,
we
give him a little break.
I'm fixing to fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Bam. Ah, bam. Here we go. Spring.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like he's almost there.
I'm almost there. Yeah, I'm trying to make a conversation. So, all right. So, 2022, that was the next number I could get, or next year, 33,359 was your.
So down
was
by
your-
about 10 can.
Yeah. So I mean, so that is a lot. I mean, that's a lot of turkeys. It's a big drop, and I'm sure, you could look at the numbers, but I'm sure that the hunting licenses have gone up a little bit during that time. COVID was a big boon. So yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
there's no secret, man. There's been population challenges in the state of Missouri. There's no secret,
And we're no
I think
different
that,
than any other state.
yeah, but I think, a lot of people have been working really, really hard across this country, across different levels of turkey management, agency, NGOs, government, federal, state, local, research organizations, universities, like conservation groups. People have been putting a lot of effort into understanding, the issues. So I think for people listening, like, there's a lot to be concerned about, but I think that the future is bright. I feel really strong about that, just because of the amount of effort and energy and passion behind, the care for this wild animal. So it is pretty neat.
Yeah.
So
I will likely not be hurting those numbers this year.
I mean, same. I'm in the same
Yeah.
boat you are. I might see a turkey on trail camera every once in a while, but I don't got enough at any of my hunting spots where I'm gonna go chase after them.
Right.
yeah,
Okay. So,
I want to stop in Missouri and put a number on that, put tick on that chart.
okay.
I'm not gonna. I'll do it.
Yeah, you can do it for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Where you going, bud?
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I mean, so that was kind of, I guess wasn't really a rabbit hole, but the first topic we kind of talked about. Now, I do want to pivot into actually hunting
Mhm.
turkeys because, Paul is a hunter of the birdies. But last time we talked to you, we did talk about strategy
Mhm.
and how you approach them. I was kind of curious about gear this
Yeah.
year for you. So since we've been talking a lot about guns lately,
Yeah.
because we like guns. Guns are fun when you're shooting coyotes. And when you were hunting turkeys this fall or this spring, do you hunt them with a bow or a gun most of the time?
Shotgun. Always a shotgun. I'll
Okay.
never hunt a turkey with a bow. Ever. Ever.
Well, you see the videos on Instagram and
Yeah.
all that all the time.
That's the only time I've killed a turkey was with a bow.
Gosh, man. I'm and this is, I swear to God, if you put this on Instagram, and this is like the clip that like goes viral, and people are like, this guy's a piece of
I
shit.
will. Right down the.
I'm
right
gonna
down
be yeah. Put a tag down. Learn to hunt a turkey with a fucking shotgun before you hunt it with a bow. Okay, that's it. Like, dude, and I'm not the first one that have said that.
Oh, that's
Like,
going on there.
Learn to hunt them with the shotgun before you do it with a bow. And so, like, and
Why?
make sure you put this.
Why?
Make sure
Let 'em-
I'm
let 'em
getting there.
finish.
I'm getting there. Settle down. Make sure you put this on there, dude. I met a couple guys from Pope and Young organization. I was introduced to one of the greatest bow hunters of all time. Like one of the most accomplished bow hunters of all time, has killed every big game animal in North America, has killed like almost every freaking animal in Africa that you can hunt with a bow. And he looked at me and he said, the number one animal that I wounded the most was a wild turkey with a bow. What do you think I said to him? Why'd you keep doing it with a bow? Like, why did you do it? And I think that turkeys, like they're incredibly hard to hunt with a shotgun, right? The margin of error when you're hunting a turkey from the ground in the spring with a bow is really, really high. And I don't think that your average deer hunter that hunts out of a tree stand in the fall should be hunting. Like, I mean, you've got to really, like, you got to be really good at that. Like, that takes a lot of effort. I mean, I think that like your average deer hunter, and like, I'm a shitty deer hunter. I will admit that. Um, it's not the
Agreed.
same, right? I'm not. It's not the same hunting a wiry animal on the ground versus hunting something out of a tree stand, right? Um, I think I had a conversation with a dude here in Ohio that last year wounded 3 turkeys with a bow, 3 in 1 season. And I was like, why do you keep doing that? Like, and the next sentence out of your mouth is going to be you're upset about the population. Like those turkeys are going to die. You're just not going to find them. So I think that, and like I said, man, like, learn to hunt with the shotgun. I mean that seriously. Like people, I think a lot of the people that want to bow hunt turkeys, they want to do it for that little clip on Instagram, right? They want the turkey head lopping around. Um, I think that people are just like, well, I want the challenge of hunting with a bow. You've never turkey hunted. Like it's hard to do it with a shotgun. It's really hard to do it with a bow. And I don't know, man. Like, and I will acknowledge that is my bias, right?
It's like that unnatural like there's usually a natural progression with stuff. Like
Yeah,
deer hunting. Let's just say you start deer hunting with a rifle. Okay? And then you start deer hunting with a crossbow because it's a
yeah,
touch harder. Then you start deer hunting with a compound bow because it's
yeah,
you mastered each step, and then you're like, all right, compound bows are getting a little boring, and then I'm gonna go to a trad bow. Whereas like it seems like you're talking about with this situation is where guys or gals just jump right in with the bow on turkeys
yeah.
and
They
want
think it's
to
they think it's fun,
decapitate
right?
one
Yeah,
with
and
those freaking broadheads that are like coming
yeah,
at them like a
yeah,
grappling hook, and
yeah.
then it doesn't go well. It's not that natural progression. They haven't done it the
Yeah, and
other
it's and
way
that and once
first.
again, like, yeah, and that's my bias. Like there's a guy, I think he's from Missouri, Butcher Outdoors. I don't even know who this guy is, but him and his wife, they shoot a lot of archery. He seems like a good guy. He was practicing like out of his stool and just, like sitting down, practicing in the brush. And like that's the stuff that you need to do to be like efficient. I mean, dude, standing up, shooting your bow or sitting down with your knees up, like that's a different thing, man. And
Big
and
difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people, I think that I think they'll misinterpret like their skill level shooting a deer from a tree stand in November, an elevated platform, to shooting a turkey. I think that yeah, I think people, if you're ready, like if you are efficient at killing turkeys with a gun, like Clint Casper's another one. That dude's a maniac hunting turkeys with a bow. That guy gets it, but he's done it so much, he's perfected
he
that
knows how
craft.
to do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think like I think if you just want to roll out of the tree stand and then in the spring go out and hunt a turkey with a bow, I think like one, I don't think you're going to enjoy it. I mean, if you're just hunting them from a blind, over a decoy, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Like that's like, dude, anybody can do that, right? That's not hard. That's not hard killing a turkey. Um, you still got to execute the shot, but if you're in a blind, like it's not like sitting, like yelping them up off of a ridge, hiding in some brush like you do with a shotgun. Like, dude, there's no way I could hunt a turkey with a bow from the ground. Like, I would blow that. I'm shaking so bad I couldn't pull that bow back. So I know I was a little like bombastic about it, but I want people to like really consider, like if I called you and said, hey man, I've shot 10 bucks this year and I've wounded every single one of them. What would your response be? Stop shooting them with a
learn to
bow.
shoot,
Yeah.
bro.
Right, right.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
not going to do it. So, I think that it's, with, with the population
Or
challenge.
my other response would be like, why haven't you punched your tag yet, dude? Like,
Yeah, just stop doing it,
sometimes
right?
that bothers me,
So,
you know. So
yeah.
you shot 5 deer and you think all 5 of them are dead and you still have a tag in your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I realize, it's your tag. You do what you want with it, but man, it kind of seems like you've killed 5 deer.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
didn't recover
man.
them. It's a hard discussion to have
It
sometimes
yeah, it
because
is. So I just
we've all
want
been there,
people.
but
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I just, I know like the statement earlier, I was just, I'm sure some people are like, this guy's a dick. I'm turning it off and moving on. But I want people to like, I want them to understand like just to like what it means to turkey hunt. It's different than deer hunting. It's not the same. And there's different ways to skin a cat. There's different ways to kill a turkey. Uh, it drives me nuts though. Like, and this is once again, this is my bias. I've talked about this a lot. Like the like you said, the big grappling hook broadheads. Like I don't even know what they're called. That like lop the turkeys' heads off. I hate those, and I don't know why I
mhm,
hate them because that's like a super ethical death. I mean, like that is like you execute that shot, that head comes off, that turkey is
immediately.
dead. I mean, dead as fuck, right? And but like
Yep.
I think where I get upset is people are like zooming in on it and they pick the head up and they're like "Brr, brr, brr, brr," and they're just like joking around with this dead turkey head and it's just like that's what I don't like and that's where that bias comes in on my part and I am fully willing to admit that is my bias. So make sure you put that part in when
Yep.
people were like you piece of shit Paul Campbell.
Fucking
So
Paul Campbell.
yeah, dude, I've
Okay,
dipped
but now
my
since
I've
we've
dipped
talked
my
about
toe in.
shotguns,
Yeah.
What's your favorite shotgun to use?
what is your shotgun of preference? That's what my
Dude,
first
I've
question was
killed
going to
more
be.
turkeys with a Remington 870, right? That's like the number one turkey killing gun I feel like of all time.
I feel like that's like the number
This
one
is,
shotgun of all time.
oh yeah, this is just a Stevens 301 single shot. I've used that off and on. And I just got this thing, man, and I'm still trying, like I'm still tinkering with it. So if you're watching the video, don't judge my setup too much here. But this is a Franke Affinity 3, the Turkey Elite or whatever they call it. Red dot,
All
20
right.
gauge pistol grip. So um I'm going to shoot this for the first time tomorrow. I've never I've shot turkeys with red dots. I haven't run a red dot a lot, but um, I shot over the head of a turkey last year, and it pissed me off. Like my eyes have just changed. So as
Yeah.
I've
You're
gotten older,
old.
and I've talked, yeah, man, and I've talked to a lot of people about uh, red dots. So I'm gonna give this a try, man. I'm still like I said, I'm still tinkering with this setup. I've yet to shoot this gun. I mean, I've it's you know
What?
I haven't shot it yet. So
Why 20 gauge over 12 gauge or 410 or let's get into that a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, so I've this is the so I had that Stevens. I killed one turkey with it, hunted one season with it. Um Other than that, I've hunted with a 12 gauge primarily. And for me, it's like it's just the weight. I mean, like switching from that from the gun that I hunted with last year, the 12 gauge Browning that I hunted with last year to that thing, I think I shed like 6 pounds or something like that. And that's a lot when you're walking a bunch of miles. With the advancement of like and this is another good conversation, like with the advancement of TSS, shot
I was just
shells
getting ready.
and
That was my next question is the
yeah,
shells.
yeah.
What's
And
your
then like
preference? And
the choke tubes, man. I like so I man, I hate being like this guy, but I will like I think it's crazy that people like shoot turkeys at 70 yards, man, like with TSS. Like just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should. Right? Like it's so much fun having them like super close, man. Shooting them from like 25 yards. It's freaking awesome, dude. I love it. And I get why people do it. If it's your only chance to kill a turkey and you're good at 70, send it, right? I'm not going to judge you too hard, but so like the TSS, I love the pattern at 20. I love it at 40. It's just dead nuts, man. It's just lights out, man. I shot two turkeys. I shot an Osceola and Eastern last year with TSS. They didn't even flop. I mean, they were just down on the ground. I mean, and it's just so devastating. The energy that's there, and it's for me. It's a really nice pattern. I pattern everything at 30 yards. So
okay.
yeah,
And so I would assume your favorite round is the TSS.
yeah, Yeah, man. I've been using TSS for I think like 2019 was the first year that I started using it.
Is that Remington? Who is
No,
that?
I've gone back and forth between I've used Apex, I've used Rogue, I've used Federal. This year
Oh,
I'm
so that's not an actual brand. That's a type of shell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, so
see how much I turkey hunt?
TSS stands for tungsten super shot. So tungsten is
Okay.
it has a higher density than lead and a smaller size. So people used to hunt with like copper plated sixes, five, four, fives, and sixes for years for turkeys, and that's still a really good round. Like if you're shooting like Winchester, the Longbeard XR, which is just I think fives or sixes. Those are really great rounds, man. Those will pound turkeys. So with the smaller size but the same like weight, if I'm shooting copper or if I'm shooting lead sixes, and I'm just using arbitrary numbers here. If I'm shooting lead sixes, I might have just say 200 pellets on target. That TSS, I've got like 800 pellets on target, right? Like
Oh,
Oh
it's
wow.
dude, it's wild, man. So if you just there's some guys they do, I think it's called like blue collar outdoors or something. They do a ton of TSS testing and choke tube testing, and they do a really nice job like showing you the difference with the like the TSS versus the lead. And don't get me wrong, man, like lead, dude, that's you're gonna kill plenty of turkeys with that. So, but people think
yeah,
like, oh, I got TSS, I can shoot out to 70. Yeah, you can, but like it's not fun, man. Like it's just it's way more fun getting to hear them drum and see them spitting and
yeah.
hear their wings drag. It's just cool, man. But like I said, you do you,
Only
right?
turkey load I've ever had because, like we said, we don't turkey hunt much. So I still have like the first box I ever bought. Maybe not the first box, but of the first three or four. And I think I bought a handful of them. Are like Remington. I think they're called nitros.
Yeah.
Turkey
Oh yeah.
nitro.
Oh yeah,
It's a
dude. Like
turkey round, but
it's like $5 a
uh,
box.
I don't remember what they were.
Yeah.
But they're still in the closet and haven't.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, when I took my son hunting, turkey hunting for the first time, I took him out to shoot my 12 gauge with those, and it was not enjoyable for him.
Yeah.
Uh, but I said, here's the good part, dude. You only got to shoot one time.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pattern this thing. You're gonna make sure you're shooting it right. And then next time you're only gonna shoot it once.
Yeah.
And he never ended up pulling the trigger on it. But
Yeah. Dude, I mean
so
that's
I
the
did
thing, man.
shoot a few.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that I was done.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, man, it doesn't take like some of that TSS is expensive. It's like 65 to $70 for five shells. And you don't need
I
that to
might
kill a
guess.
turkey. Yeah, you don't need that to kill a turkey, man. If you get them close enough, you're shooting them from 15 yards, you can shoot them with a $5 box Remington nitros, and it doesn't matter, man. That stuff doesn't matter. And so I guess it's up to each individual hunter. So I did a podcast just a couple weeks ago, and they asked me like, "Well, what do you need to get into turkey hunting?" I'm like, "Dude, a good pair of boots, whatever camo you got, a shotgun with a turkey choke in it, and a turkey call that you can run. That's it. That's all you need, man. You don't need anything crazy. You don't have to be like me and buy $400 worth of
And a
TSS every
can-do
year and try it."
attitude.
And a can-do attitude and a willingness to fail. So, yeah, man, it's I've even thought like this year about like just going back to like a Remington 870 and just copper plated sixes, man, and getting back to the roots, and of course I didn't. I'm like, oh, look at this new shotgun and four hundred
It's
dollars
easy
worth
to
of
do.
ammo. It is. I love it.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
I am what I
I mean,
am. I'm never gonna change.
I'm literally doing the same thing with my coyote gun right now.
Right.
I just bought
Yeah.
two brand new boxes of different types of VMAX rounds to change over to after this thermal season's over for next
Mhm.
year because I want to.
Yeah. Why
Every
not? Right.
damn dog, every damn coyote I've shot out this year has not moved. Or I've hit this year has not moved 5 feet. But no, let's
Yeah.
go change it. Let me
Right.
let me go change
Yeah.
it because I want to get faster.
Yeah.
So
That's it,
we
man.
get
We
it.
just we get in our
It's
own
that
way.
way with every sport.
Yeah.
Yep, we do. Yeah, we
Yeah.
like to tinker. But
Man, I know
Paul,
I
I
was
know that.
oh go ahead.
No, you're good.
I just say I know I was a little critical of people hunting with bows and shooting at 70 yards, but I mean what it comes down to is I want people to enjoy their time in the turkey woods. I want them to, respect each other and have fun. And it's so easy to get, cantankerous with different topics. And there's a lot of topics in the turkey world that are contentious, TSS being one of
Mm-hmm.
them, reaping and fanning decoys, shooting at 70 yards, bow hunting turkeys, right? And I don't want to add to that fire. I want people to, there's room for everyone in the sport. I want them to have fun. I want them to treat the resource, with the respect, treat their fellow hunters with respect, just have fun. Right. And that's what it really like. That's really like what's at the root of like who I am and what I want people to do. And, um, you know, just,
Have
just
fun,
do
be
the best you can.
responsible.
Yeah, that's it. Have fun, be
Yeah.
responsible, and don't be a douche. That's all I got.
Don't
Oh,
be a
yeah.
douche. That's a perfect one.
That's going to be
Well, man, we know that for the next month, however long, what is it? Not even a month before you get to start hunting in Ohio, you're going to be walking around with you know, a semi at all times.
Oh,
So we're
nonstop, dude.
happy for you.
Thank you,
We're
man.
happy for you. We're excited that, you got that excitement going on.
Yeah.
And, we know that about this time every year we can call on our turkey guys because we know they're just
amped.
it's our time. It's our
Yeah.
time. Fuck them deer
Dude,
hunters. They've been talking
yeah.
for 4 months.
Yeah.
It's our time,
Man,
damn it.
it's man, it's funny because dude, I'm obviously, dude, if you're listening to this, like, man, turkey hunting's what makes me tick, man. It's what makes me breathe. I fucking love it. But like you guys saw that buck that I shot during archery season during the rut here in Ohio. Like, dude, I was
Yep.
fired up about that, man. I was wound up about that for a week. I still am, man. That was just what a hunt, man. I had a ton of fun. So for me, it's easy to make fun of deer hunters. But at the end of the
Has
day, like
has
I love doing it. So
has Andrew got you coyote hunting yet? You been out doing any of that?
man, not yet, dude. I want to do that. He's waiting on his silencer. We've got all the thermals, man. This so I think the last time I talked to him about the silencer, like it should have been close. Like it was that time.
Yeah, he
And then once
expected it like 2 months ago.
yeah, and once that's in, man, I think it's gonna be game on. And once we get through turkey season, because dude, I'm a terrible husband and father for 3 months out of the year during turkey season. I can't add in coyote hunting to that. Like I got to spread it out. So I won't be able to coyote hunt until probably
That's
like
exactly
August.
why I can't add in turkey hunting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
just the opposite for us. We
Or duck
we
hunting.
deer hunt and then we coyote hunt and
yep,
then we take a little bit of a break and then we go at it again.
yeah,
If I added turkey into that, I might be
yeah.
finding a new basement to do my podcast in.
Dude, you
So
got to you got to pick
uh
and choose your battles for sure. So
100%.
yep,
Paul, why don't you tell people where they can listen to your new podcast that you're doing
yeah.
and check you guys out?
Yeah, thank you, man. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's Paul Campbell 322. I have a website, turkeyseason.com. It's got some really neat features on there. So if you are looking for like rules or regulations or start dates or bag limits for all 49 states that have a wild turkey season, that is on there. You just click on the map feature. That's a pretty cool feature. There's some cool articles on there. The podcast is the Turkey Season podcast. It's available on all platforms. That's been a ton of fun. I've been doing I'm trying to do something different within the world of turkey hunting, man. I mean, there's a million people, not a million people. There's a lot of people that do like the how to hunt turkeys, right? And the turkey, tactics and stuff like that. And they're really, really good at running those podcasts. So mine is more like it revolves more around like the people, right? And the experiences of turkey hunters, the culture of turkey hunting, which is really neat. So I've been doing a 4-part series about Ben Rogers Lee, who was a really instrumental, influential turkey hunter back in the 70s and 80s. He died in a car accident in 1991, but his legacy and impact is tremendous, man. So I've interviewed friends, family, co-workers, all sorts of people, putting kind of like a documentary style podcast about him. And then in between those types of episodes, I've got I call them Dust Bowl, and it's just talking with some of the best turkey hunters and turkey minds in the world, man. I've got Dave Owens, Michael Chamberlain on. I've got upcoming. I've got Will Primos, Harold Knight, Brent Rogers, Mike Pentecost. Like, dude, it's just if you are a turkey hunter, it's I mean it's pretty neat, man. I'm very very putting every ounce of energy I have into that project. So that's it.
Awesome, dude.
Heck yeah.
Well,
thank you.
we wish you the best of luck if we don't talk to you. And you know, we're looking forward to your pictures, man.
Yeah,
And
thank
hopefully
you
there is
guys.
pictures.
Yeah.
And we can, be like, cool freaking bird, man. Give you a little hard time.
Yeah.
And kill him with your let's see, he's gonna kill him with his bow with the grappling hook while
Oh,
reaping
you
at
stop. You
85 yards is
stop
what
it.
I
You stop
heard.
it. You
That's what's
stop
gonna
it.
go on.
Don't do
So,
it.
Paul Campbell, thanks for coming
Gentlemen,
on,
thank you.
brother.
Thank you guys. I appreciate
See
it.
ya.
Thanks for having me.